Jonathan in Waco, Texas. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and today I'm going to cut the Essilor Ideal Advanced digital freeform progressive lenses with transitions to XTRAactive Gray and Crizal Sapphire for the Oakley 8136 cross-link fit in the 55 eye size. This is color 02. Again, this is the cross-link fit, and this again is Oakley 8136 color 02, the satin gray smoke, and the 55 eye size. Now let me begin by saying I am an authorized Oakley dealer. I'm just, as a small independent optician, I'm not legally allowed to put individual pictures of the frames with prices on my website. Even though there's a million people doing it, I play by the rules. So if there's a frame you want, just email me, tell me the model number, size, and color, and I'll reply back with availability and price. And of course, all Oakleys come with one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses. But let me pop out these demo lenses so I can start cutting your progressive lenses. And I'm going to take your frame, put it into the tracing element of my blocker. First, I want to program the shape into the computer. So you were Secret Agent 1791. Put that in there and hit the start button. The reason why I programmed this is years from now, should you ever need new lenses for this frame, I can mail them right to your home and you won't have to mail the frame back to me. Of course, here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality, you buy a genuine, authentic Oakley frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account, I can provide you with an itemized receipt so you can get reimbursement for your purchase. Now that is the shape that I'll be cutting. We're going to, this one's already marked for the right lens. I always get the lenses prepped in advance for progressives. Now, your pupillary distance for your right eye is 31. We're going to do an optical center. Let's move tap the minus button until we get to 31. We're going to move the optical center height up to 21. This is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need two double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got two here. Stick that onto the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. On the back is a magnet that's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. Change the layout screen to progressive. The blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. I'm going to get everything lined up where it should be. And make sure the lens is large enough, and it is. I'm going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. Pupillary distance for the left eye is 29, so I'm going to tap the minus button again until we get to 29. Same optical center height. Get everything lined up exactly where it should be. Let me concentrate for a moment. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. I recommend, and weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you won't need this guy with the two thumbs to do it for you. The cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel on the left. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away the lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, is going to put the V-shaped bevel on the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I'm going to go ahead and wake up the computer. It is job ID number 1791. 1791. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I am going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. Press this on there firmly. Place the magnet in. The magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's now going to attach itself to another magnet in the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Hit the start button. Yep. Free bad jokes with every pair of glasses purchased. Free single vision prescription lenses and bad jokes. Where else are you going to get that? So it's tracing the shape of the right lens. And then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where and precisely to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, which you shouldn't have much for the right eye. You may have some for the left for your higher than average astigmatism, or as I like to call it, crazy stigs. So the light you see flickering in the background is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning the water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle, whereas these lenses will cut dry until the last 20 seconds to wash away the optical debris that you see beginning to form on the edge of the lens now. But your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones and their Oakleys to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. Now, these are not safety glasses. It just happens to be the same lens material that OSHA puts into the frames. Now, it also has 100% UVA and UVB protection. You also have the, speaking of protection, you have the Transitions XTRAactive. So these lenses will block 50 to 70% of the harmful blue light emitted from today's electronic devices. You also have the Crizal Sapphire on there, and you got pretty much great coverage. Now the regular Transition Signature 7 and 8 will block about 30 to 40% of the harmful blue light. The Transitions XTRAactive block the most, 50 to 70%. The other nice thing about the XTRAactive lenses, they'll get about 30 to 50% dark behind the windshield, where the 7 and 8 won't. And of course these will get darker in hotter weather. And in Waco, Texas, it was about 94 degrees today here in North Carolina. I can only imagine what it was in Waco, Texas. So it's double checking itself, measuring where to place the bevel. Your lens is flat now, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. It's now going to get the V-shaped bevel. Now again, with your Crizal Sapphire, it happens to be 3 treatments in one. The first treatment is it's an anti-glare treatment, so it reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but street lights, stop lights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights and such. The second feature is it goes by the initials ARC, which stands for anti-reflective coating, so it reduces reflections, makes for much better eye contact, so when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. Or if you take a selfie, you're less likely to see your phone in the lens, or if someone takes a picture with a flash, you're less likely to see that. Now the water you see spraying on the lens tells me it's in the last 20 seconds. In just a moment a lever will come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning disc. That's what's going to apply the safety bevel. It's going to smooth out the back surface of the lens so there's no rough edges left over from the cutting cycle. And the third feature with the Crizal is it becomes with the industry's hardest scratch coating. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens, which has to be dried, cleaned in an acid bath, washed, cleaned again between each treatment. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. So we're going to take the lens out, dry it off. Just going to run my thumbnail around and make sure I get all the last of the optical sawdust off. Let's see if it fits first time around. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner. Using my thumbs, press down at the nose. It does not want to go in, so I'm going to take 1/10 of a millimeter off. I may even have to do more after that. 1/10 of a millimeter, hit retouch. The old carpenter saying you can always cut more off, you can never add it back on. So I always start a little large and work my way down. Now once we get the size of the right lens done, we'll flip it over and cut the left. However, the left has twice the amount of astigmatism correction, making the lens a little bit thicker, so we may even have to take the left side down more than the right. And I always do it in baby steps. You can always cut more off, you can never add it back on. I was second guessing myself to take more than 1/10 of a millimeter, but because of the time and the expense of these lenses, I want to get it right on the first try. There are times, it doesn't happen often, but I can miscut a lens. I have to reorder it. Jonathan, whoever, will have to wait. If it takes me a minute to do it right the first time, then so be it. It's a corny saying that I live by The only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra at the beginning. I don't want to rush things. A lot of people will use heat up the frame to make it more pliable so you can pop the lens in. I do everything as a cold mount. The plastic is cold. I never heat a plastic frame. Take the lens out of the chuck, the Charles. Dry everything off, make sure there's no optical sawdust. Let's see if it fits. Tuck it in at the outside corner first using my thumbs. Press down at the nose. And let's take another tenth off. So now we're at minus 0.20. Hit retouch. Again, the clamp shuts. And the lens does not go onto the cutting wheel, it goes to the bevel wheel. Round and round it takes off. Now this is the second purchase from Jonathan. He got another pair of progressives from me last year. Liked the work so much, having it done again. Now I am very grateful for everyone who purchases. I'm extremely grateful when someone does a second purchase. It justifies what I'm doing. We're owning your own company, working nights, weekends, whatever it takes, answering emails at all hours. You know, anyone can sell someone a pair of glasses one time. To sell it to them twice, that shows you know what you're doing. And I appreciate that he takes his time to have trust in me, my company, my services, that he would do it a second time. So again, tuck it in at the outside corner first using my thumbs, push down the nose. Now it snaps in there easily. Flip that over to L. We're still at minus 0.20. Place the lens into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or tonight I will call it the Jonathan. Hit the green start button. The door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens will be traced by the two white styluses again. Tracing the shape of the left side of the lens. And measuring the thickness at every point to know where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you have none on the right lens. Be curious to see how the left lens turns out, but let's go ahead and continue working. I'm going to take the block off, pull the sticker off, use my hand approved drying method, throw that back in there, add the sticker to my sticker collection. We're going to come down here to the lensometer, spin the axis wheel to 90. Put it in. Oh, there is no black dot. Let's come down here. Every progressive lens has two circles, laser engravings 34 millimeters apart. It corresponds with those two circles. I line up those dots with the dot on the lens. And if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You know that joke was coming somewhere. So now we're going to put it in over that black dot. Read the power. And I am getting, where's my flashlight? Minus a quarter into the red. Starting at 0, going towards 1. We're at minus a quarter, 1 tick mark away from 0. That's because you have the smallest amount of far-sighted correction. You are nearsighted. With your glasses off, you see much better up close than you do far away. So you have one step of minification. That's why there's a minus sign. Now once we make everything the correct size, you have 7 steps of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike with the letters P and F. So you have two curves, the minus a quarter this way, an additional minus 175, which is steeper than the first curve. That's how we line those curves up to make everything nice and crisp. And we're going to line them up at the 90th meridian. Let me check the power of the second curve. And we're getting minus 2. Exactly halfway between 1 and 3. That's where you would find 2. How did I get there? Remember high school algebra where you add two like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, I've forgotten that too. Now let's use today's terms. If you let someone borrow a quarter, then they borrowed another $1.75, they would owe you $2. That's where we're at, $2 in the red. Now your left eye, you need 3 steps of farsighted correction. You're on the 3rd rung of a ladder, but you need an additional 14 steps of astigmatism correction for your left eye. Again, medically speaking, this is known as crazy stigs. You more than anyone benefit from the anti-glare because light does not focus directly on the back of your retina. Instead of coming in through your iris, this is the back of your retina here. Your eye is looking at this wall. You have an iris where light comes in, and when it comes through that pupil, it scatters all over your retina. And by the astigmatism correction, it focuses it to a single point on your macula. It's called the circle of least confusion. How's that for a term? But that's how it makes everything nice and crisp. Now, these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. Now, the frame, the Oakley 8136 cross-link fit sells for $213. The Essilor Ideal Advanced Progressive Freeform Digital Lens adds $149.99. The transition to XTRAactive gray or brown adds $99.99. And of course, Crizal Sapphire, being the nicest and clearest of all the Crizal coatings, adds $139.99 for a total of, look at me, you think I'd be more prepared, $213 plus $149.99 plus $99.99 plus $139.99. I'm going to throw in an extra 99 just for change. Comes to $602.97. Now, anyone out there under 40 who wears single vision lenses, that's going to seem expensive to you. That is, a progressive lens costs more because it does more. This is a multifocal. It has an unlimited focal range, just like the way you can zoom in on a camera lens. That's what this lens is. You have the distance in the top, the intermediate in the middle, and the full strength of the reading at the bottom. Let's see if it'll fit first time around, or I have to take it down some more. Got a little bit more edge thickness on the left lens due to the astigmatism. Tuck it in at the outside corner, press down the nose. Hey, no, it snaps in. It's a team player. Pull the sticker off, add that to my sticker collection, dry that off. Is the dot on the left lens? No. Let's add another dot. Let's recap. let's uncap. Put a dot on the lens. Ooh, there's one just right there and right there. I will dot. You guys just watch. Turn that off now. Save a little electricity. I do not have to turn the axis wheel. The axis for both eyes is 90. Put it in over that dot. Read the power. I am getting minus 75, 1 tick mark away from 1, going away from 0 towards 1. We're almost at 1. You have an additional 14 steps of astigmatic correction. And if all goes well, we'll end up, you add these two together, we should be at minus 4 1/4. Look at that, 4 1/4. I'm going away from 4. So, your pupillary distance for your right eye, 31, for the left, 29, for a total of 60. We're going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb. When we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 60 millimeters. I want to check the optical center height of 21. Turn the card over, place the PD stick against my thumb. Looking at the bottom of the frame, we're getting 21. 21 there. Man, the kid is good. I don't care what my mom says. I do good work. No, so this is the point in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that that this purchase is tax-free. That's something new I've added because people who sell on the internet have to charge tax now, except me. I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device, and there is no tax on eyeglasses in North Carolina. It also gives free shipping anywhere in the U.S., and Waco, Texas is still in the U.S. But let's just say you had paid 7.5% retail tax, which varies from state to state, but in North Carolina, that's what it is. And we end up with, hang on, where was that? 602.97 times 7.5%. You would have paid an additional $45.22 if you had gone anywhere else, but you don't have to pay that. All purchases are tax-free, and again includes free shipping anywhere in the U.S. But when you get these in the mail, There's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no exception. I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in just a moment. But because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And again, when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the BMW. This is as close as I'm going to get to being in a BMW. 6045, this is the 49 eye size, and the color is 50, which is a blue tortoise. There's also a the classic tortoise here with tan down here. This is a darker blue with lighter blue here at the bottom, and I think it also comes in all black. So let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. It's caught in the strap of my GoPro. Sorry, a little technical difficulty there. I believe they call it wardrobe malfunction, but I'm going to flip that over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Now, this is what your lenses look like the first time before they've been activated. Now, again, here's another teaching moment. So here are your original demo lenses. They will, no matter what lens material I use, glass, plastic, polycarbonate, they all absorb a certain amount of light. This has about 1 to 2%. My Transitions Signature 7 have retained about 3 to 5% hue indoors. The Transitions XTRAactive have about 5 to 7%. Now, you can only see that over a piece of white paper. When you put them on, if you have any pigment in your skin, it's going to just look like a regular clear lens. No one's going to be able to tell the difference. But this is what they look like the first time. I'm going to go ahead and expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. When you go outside, it takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, this is important, everyone. Pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks. They're exposed until they get to their final darkness. After that, they'll work for years at maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Now, the Transition Signature 7 and 8 will not get dark behind a windshield. These XTRAactive transitions will get about 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield, because your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun, and that's why they don't get dark in a car. Now, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Having said that, the Transitions XTRAactive are designed for XTRAactive people who spend more than the average person outdoors. These will get darker in hotter weather, especially in Waco, Texas. So people who live in California, Texas, Florida, or anywhere really hot, you should really consider the Transitions XTRAactive. You will definitely benefit from it, especially these dog days of summer. Like I said, it was 94 degrees here. Whoo, that is plenty hot. Now, as I keep running my mouth, they're going to get lighter and lighter. The Crizal Sapphire, it has that bluish hue to it, so you know you're getting a great quality lens. That's how you can tell it's Crizal Sapphire, because of the blue hue, hence the term sapphire. Now, as I keep running my mouth, they will get lighter and lighter. So if you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com, and on Twitter as freerxlenses. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me directly at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. If you're into the whole brevity thing, dude, just click the contact me button on the website, or you can also leave a question or comment in the comment section below, and I will respond back. So, Jonathan in Waco, Texas, thank you for the second purchase in me, having faith in me, my services, my company, my skills, and my bad jokes. But thank you very much. This, again, if anyone wants this frame, this is the Oakley 8136 cross-link fit. This is the 55 eye size. It also comes in a 53. It comes in about 4 or 5 different colors. This frame sells for $213. Again, this is the Oakley 8136 cross-link fit with the Essilor Ideal Advanced digital freeform progressive lenses with transitions XTRAactive gray and Crizal Sapphire. And hopefully by now everyone has gotten the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.